In the pine forest of East Texas, U.S. Highway 59 cuts through the city of Lufkin before stretching north and south across miles of rural land. By day, it carries commuters and truck drivers. By night, the road feels isolated long, dark corridors framed by dense woods and scattered side roads. Between the mid-1980s and early 1990s, at least 7 young women and girls disappeared in areas connected to this highway corridor. Some were last seen near businesses or neighborhoods feeding into Highway 59. Several were later found in wooded areas accessible from the same network of roads. At first, the cases were investigated separately. Only over time did the geographic pattern become impossible to ignore. In 1986, 16-year-old Kimberly McClure vanished in Lufkin. She was later found in a wooded area not far from the highway system. In 1987, another 16-year-old, Laura Miller, disappeared after walking to a nearby convenience store. Her route ran close to Highway 59. Her body was later discovered off a rural road connected to the corridor. In 1992, 19-year-old Angela Marshall disappeared from the same city. Her remains were also found in wooded terrain near the highway. Additional cases followed, including Keitha Jones in 1994. Each victim was young. Each disappeared within the same regional footprint, and in multiple cases, recovery sites were wooded areas reachable by vehicle from Highway 59 within minutes. The similarities were subtle at first. Short walking distances, transitional zones between neighborhoods and commercial roads, and quick access to a major highway. In the 1980s, there were no cell phone records to track movements and no widespread surveillance cameras. A vehicle entering Highway 59 at night could vanish into darkness without record. As investigators revisited the files collectively, they began mapping the disappearances. When plotted together, the last known locations and recovery sites formed a corridor. Highway 59 was not necessarily the crime scene in every case, but it was a common thread the artery connecting abduction points to remote disposal sites. Jurisdictional boundaries complicated the response. City police, county deputies, and state authorities handled cases individually at first. Information sharing was slower in that era, and geographic profiling was not widely used. What might today trigger a coordinated task force took years to assemble. In the 2010s, advances in forensic technology brought renewed attention to the East Texas cases. Investigators reprocessed evidence and reviewed known offenders who had traveled Texas highways during that period. One name emerged prominently: William Reese. Reese had a documented history of violent crime and highway-based abductions. In 2016, he was charged in connection with multiple Texas murders. He later confessed to several killings. In 2019 and 2021, he was convicted and sentenced to death for certain murders in Texas, including victims linked geographically to similar highway corridors. Authorities have connected him to multiple East Texas murders, though not every disappearance along Highway 59 has been conclusively attributed to him. Some cases remain unsolved or lack sufficient evidence for definitive linkage. Law enforcement has been careful to distinguish confirmed connections from theories based solely on proximity. Highway corridors present unique investigative challenges. They allow mobility, cross multiple jurisdictions, and provide quick escape routes. Offenders familiar with rural terrain can access isolated wooded areas without traveling far from major roads. In East Texas, Highway 59 offered both movement and concealment. The emotional toll on Lufkin has lasted decades. Families organized searches, attended trials, and waited years for answers. For some, convictions brought partial closure. For others, uncertainty remains. Parents who once allowed teenagers to walk short distances began driving them instead. The road's meaning changed. Today, traffic continues along U.S. Highway 59. Pine trees still line its shoulders. Drivers pass the same turnoffs without knowing the history tied to that stretch of pavement. 7 young women disappeared within the same roadway corridor. Some cases now have legal resolution. Others remain open. The story is not one of superstition but of geography, vulnerability, and delayed recognition of a pattern hiding in plain sight. Highways are built to connect communities. In East Texas, This one also connects a series of tragedies that reshape the town and force investigators to look a familiar road in a very different way.